Yeah, different vision, but the same goes. Big collision off the main road. That's the beaten path where my brain goes. Fuck the devil's wrath off my halo. Hella stones, no Thanos. Hella gold, no rainbow. This is hella genius in my brain lobes. Hella gross as far as revenue goes. Bought me a net for these Benjamins though. You not a threat, you an enemy though. Broke me a sweat, killing enemies slow. Body offset, all these feminine flows. Hardly upset, but you testing me though. All of these stats are depressingly low. Why your girl think I'm a
What's up, Beaches? Welcome to episode 1046.
There's no comparison. Black in America, little
what up,
too
fam?
arrogant. I just embarrass y'all niggas irrelevant. I shouldn't have mentioned it. That's
We're in the Daily Swole waiting room.
Way too
We're waiting to make some sick fucking games.
Sending my sentiments, neck full of sediments. Cop me a Tesla and skirt through the valley. Drop the investment in Silicon Valley.
What's up, Ken?
But I'm
What's
missing
good?
the patty. Might mess around and just move to Miami.
Hello, Michelle. Hello.
Breaking the chassis. King of the grass like I'm Lionel Messi. I am not crass, but my mental is messy. Mud in my glass while my pencil is sketching. All these rappers, but no one impressed me. Most of them actors at labels is testing.
Paloma, Heather, Bill, what's up? Holly, Cassie, Mike, what's up? Beach, Kelly, Amy, what up? What up? What up? That dirty Papa Swole, yo. Dirty Swole. Dirty Swole.
Yeah. Never dispose of the pen, I'm at it again. We close to the end, the older I get, emphatic I am. They try to pretend, they try to be friend, wreak havoc instead. Look at the trends, can't comprehend my dramatic ascent. I'm heavenly sent, they try to condemn. Ladies and gentlemen, I am the man. Yeah, different vision, but the same goes. Big collision off the main road. That's the beaten path where my brain goes. Fuck the devil's wrath off my halo. Hella stones, no Thanos. Hella gold, no rainbow. This is hella genius in
What's
my
up,
brain
Mary?
lobes.
What's up, fam?
What
up? Yeah.
Bought me a net for these Benjamins though. You not a threat, you an enemy though. Broke me a sweat, killing enemies slow. Body offset, all these feminine flows. Hardly upset, but you testing me though.
Lost her top fan star. Gotta get on that commenting game. Better start commenting.
There's no comparison.
Just all the comments, just
little too
spam.
arrogant. I just embarrass y'all niggas irrelevant. I shouldn't have mentioned it. That's royal etiquette. Out of my element. Way too intelligent. Grab you a therapist. Sending my sentiments. Neck full of sediments. Cop me a Tesla and skirt through the valley. Drop the investment in Silicon Valley. All this cake, but I'm
coming right at you.
Might mess around and just move to Miami.
Nothing like that good knowledge. Nothing like that good knowledge. D.
Nothing
wrong with that.
I am not crass, but my mental is messy. Mud in my glass while my pencil is sketching. All these rappers, but no one impressed me. Most of them actors at labels is tested.
I'm making fucking games. There we go.
The birds are chirping.
The
bacon is
sizzling.
Welcome to the Daily Swole.
The Daily Swole, the Daily Swole. Testing, 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 testing. Test, test, test. Testing, testing, testing. Testing, testing, testing. Test Ickles, test Ickles, test Ickles. Testing, testing, test Ickles. Oh. Welcome everyone to episode 1046 of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular swolecast, beercast, broadcast, gamecast, mancast, pimpcast, sleazecast, and slaycast in the realm, because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. What is up, my beaches? Hello, welcome to another Monday cast. We are here for the gains. We all here for the gains. Pinch your nips. We're about to get into it. Welcome to everyone that is joining live on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Periscope, and Twitch for the Gamecast. And just a reminder to those of you that are first timers, you can also subscribe to the podcast everywhere that you get your audio gains. You can check it out on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify, everywhere. And if you have any questions, you want to check out all the resources, the blog and the subscriptions and the Daily Swole Club and Swolenormous X, check it all out, swolenormousx.com. And if you're watching the live stream on Facebook and YouTube and such like that, you can check it out in the bottom left-hand corner. There's the link. There's a little icon thing that says swolenormousx.com. But on Instagram, I also have a link in my Instagram bio. Stop it, Alexa. Stop bothering me. I'm doing a podcast, man. I don't care if a package got delivered. I'm making some fucking gains. She's always pushy. Bing, 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 bing. Shut up. Shut up. Don't disturb me. Don't disturb me when I'm streaming. You're not that intelligent if you don't know that I'm streaming right now. You're right there. Can't you hear my intro? Fuck. Anyway, today's episode 1046, That Diet Though. We're going to talk about nutrition. So if you got nutrition questions, you can pop them in. And then if we get to them, we get to them. But we'll talk about kind of getting your nutrition started because there's a lot of common questions that I've been getting asked lately and all the time, of course. But it seems like it's come to a head in the last couple days. Everyone's asking the same type of shit. So I want to address it directly for an episode. And if you have any specific questions relating to it as it comes up, we can talk about it. So let's see what's good for today. Let's see what the comments bring me. Miles is ready for some knowledge cock. You got some coming for you right on your fucking chin, bro. Mike Stuttle, I never thought I'd be someone who loves the D as much as I do. Everyone loves the fucking knowledge dick. Just dropping it everywhere. What up with this dude on Facebook and IG holding a pizza and a Coke and claiming you can still get ripped? Oh, I did a video on that. I did a video on Vince. That's like the driving while gaining I did like 2 or 3 days ago on YouTube. Yeah, if you guys aren't subscribed to my YouTube channel, let's see. There's been a lot of new drops. There was the V-Shred video, the driving while gaining on Friday or Saturday. And then there was the Ask Papa Swole episode yesterday. And then today dropped one about Lucky Charms beer, if you haven't heard about that. Very fitting for the whole Leprechaun St. Patty's Day shit that happened yesterday. I believe it was yesterday, right? I don't celebrate fake fucking holidays. Don't pretend like it is something. You know, it's just a drinking holiday. Give me a break. You know what it's for. You know what it's for. Like 12 people take that as like a literal thing that they celebrate. Everyone else just wants to get drunk and wear green. You know it. You fucking know it. You fucking know it. Anyway, don't worry. I have Irish heritage, so it's not like I can say that. It's like black people saying the N-word. I can say that because I have Irish background. I have some Irish in me. You want some Irish in you? Anyway, all right. We're getting off on the right foot today. We're getting off on the right way, on the right set. Let's see. Take a look at every damn. Yeah, Alan Roberts has ripped him for years, for like a year or two. He's gone deep on V-Shred. I've done a couple. I've done like a driving while gaining. I've done like 1 or 2 videos, but he's actually gone in on like a couple. It's bad. It's so easy. It's so easy. There are a few people online that you can just make endless content about. And yes, I see everyone in the comments. I see everyone in the comments about Brittany Dawn. Yes, she is one of those people where you can just make endless videos, endless content. It just never ends unless you stop it. And I know I was done. I was done making videos. That was the last one. I wasn't planning on making any more. And she has to open her mouth. So we'll see. We'll see what happens there. Let that sit. Let that generate. Let that generate all. Let that kind of like, I don't know. Let that kind of float for a day or so. See how that turns out. It's really bad, by the way. It's sad. It's sad, the denial. Let's just talk about it for a second because I know a lot of you are joining and you want to know. Did anyone see that video? I got blasted on my DMs. I got so many messages like, "Did you see the video? Did you see the video?" I'm like, "Well, I'll go watch it." And then I watched it and I'm like, "Oh, I got a shout out, kind of. I got like a indirect shout out. Chick doesn't have the nips to actually fucking say my name. Say my name, bitch. Say my fucking name. Say my fucking name." Say my fucking name, you pussy. Can't say it? Can't say you're too big for that? Screw you. Anyway, what's interesting about the whole situation, what's interesting and sad, is that I have never made up a single thing about all those videos that I made about Brittany Dawn. Not one single, I didn't make up anything. Like, that's why I was doing screenshots. I have hundreds of screenshots from everything that I talked about in my videos. I only shared a portion of them on the screen. Otherwise, my videos would have been like Lord of the Rings extended version. I would have been like 3.5-hour videos showing all the screenshots I have. And I'm in the private group, so I know what's going on. And it's like, you know, what do you want? I don't know what else to do. I'm not making up anything like outlandish. The real issue is that she never actually broke it down. She never actually explained it. And I think that's where the whole disconnect is, because she always talks like in the third person. She kind of pushes off to the side, talks about men versus women as if she's like some kind of freedom fighter for women. She talks about it as a mistake, singular, when it's obviously been several hundreds, even maybe thousands of mistakes over the course of years. Not like one thing. Oh, you left your car door unlocked, or you did a hit and run and you're apologizing for leaving the scene. No, like it's been constant attention and constant, constant fucking up. So, it's just weird. It's weird. I mean, if she was transparent and actually, like, she should address the issue. I think she should address the issue and actually talk about them. Like, why doesn't she actually have a video where she discusses the actual incidents? Why doesn't she sit down and actually authentically have a conversation and discuss it? That's why people are pissed, because she's never addressed it. She says she took like a month off from social media or something. She took about a week, maybe like 6 or 7 days before she was posting on Twitter and shit. I know, because I was there and I made a video about it, because I'm like, why are you fucking posting? Why? I was trying to help her in a sense. Like, stop posting. Like, fucking go away and deal with your shit. And in all honesty, is it really handled the way she says that? Like, I don't have anything against her. I mean, I made a video about her 7 months ago because she talked about this Pink Britney. Her Starbucks drink videos were just a load of shit, and she did so many of them, so I made fun of them and, teased her a little bit. But it was like any other video I made. I made the video, moved on, and then this stuff blew out. That was like 8 months ago, and this stuff blew up like, what, a month and a half ago or so? So, yeah, I mean, I don't have anything personal like that, but it does. Like, I do, but I don't. It's just, I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure why she doesn't actually discuss this. I'm not sure why she has this issue with being actually a real person and authentic. And that's actually the reason why, like, the jokes and the satire about her being a robot and not being human was not only her language and saying those words, but because she just doesn't communicate. Like, have a conversation, look into the camera, and actually talk and explain what's going on and talk about what's going on. Talk about it. Don't just pretend like it's fixed. If it was fixed, here's the point I was going to make, and then we'll leave this. We'll get into the episode. If the issue was fixed, what you would see is a dramatic change in the comments. You would see people, I don't think women or people would be saying, no, she doesn't give back refunds. If she solved the problem, she wouldn't have like a massive dislike ratio on her videos. Last time I checked, it was like 700 likes and like well over 2,000 dislikes. And what's funny is I just did some math, and I may talk about this in a response video if I decide to make one. So you can drop in the comments below if you think I should make a video responding to this. But I just did a little bit of math, and I'll share it with you right now, like right here on a note card with all the videos that I've made. All right. In one video, she has like 2,300 dislikes in the one that she just did. In all, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I made 8 videos on the subject. 8 videos. I did. I made a lot of videos. I made 8 videos on the subject. In all videos, I only have total 1,215 dislikes combined of all those videos. 614,969 views, 24,150 likes, and only 1,215 dislikes. That's a 95% like to dislike ratio. Okay. All my videos combined have less than half of the dislikes of her one video she made yesterday. So if I'm making things up, if I am a troll, if I am lying, if I am X, Y, and Z, how come that's the case? Don't you think people would be defending her in my comments? Don't you think people would be like, every single comment in her comment section wouldn't be negative? I don't know what platform she's making videos for. I don't know what she's reading. I'm not sure what she's looking at, because it's completely delusional. She doesn't see the evidence right in front of her. She doesn't see the evidence right in front of her. Right in front of her. Like, literally, that's all it is. The evidence is there. That's it. And I'm just reading numbers. I looked at my video stats, and I just kind of did a simple math. 95%, 95.2 actually, like to dislike. And that's really unheard of for any YouTube video, period. As we all know, there's a lot of dislike culture on YouTube, and that's fine. All right. I mean, who cares? You have the right to like or dislike. And those are only the people that actually click the like or dislike button. So out of all those views, out of 614,000 views, a very small percentage actually chose to dislike the videos. And most of them had less than 100 dislikes and well over well over 2,000, almost 3,000 likes in every video. Every video was 2,786, 2,962, 3,607, 2,585, at least 2,500 to almost 4,000 likes in every single video, and like 87 dislikes. I mean, she's just, if things were getting taken care of, if things were getting fixed, if things were getting taken care of the way she says and handled, then there wouldn't be such positive feedback on these videos that I'm making. The only reason I made more videos is because there was more evidence and more people kept on coming forward. And like I said, it's not like I got a screenshot and say, oh, cool, I'm going to post a video on it. I would get like 30 fucking emails with all these screenshots, and I would literally have to choose which one kind of conveyed the idea the best for a YouTube video. Look, YouTube is the market being YouTube, the public, I don't have control over that. I make a video, people, you all, the audience has the choice to like, to dislike, to subscribe, to unsubscribe. You have freedom. Everyone has freedom. People that follow her can unsubscribe, like, dislike, comment. You have the freedom to do that. So once I make content, it's up to you all to show whether or not you like it, whether or not it's true, whether or not you agree, whether or not you disagree, right? Once I put it out there, it's in the public forum for people to debate, right? So that's all I have to say about that. I mean, I'll address this in a video, but I'll be very straightforward. She doesn't have an argument. She made it like some kind of cheesy vlog. She flaunts. She's just not handling her shit right. She didn't go through the process of apologizing the way a human being would. She didn't do it to the standard of everyone. No one believes her for a reason, because she hasn't apologized authentically yet. I think we can all agree on that. My idea, I said this a long time ago. I think some other YouTube creators actually mentioned that. What she should do, if she wants to authentically fix her image and solve the problem once and for all, is to do one-on-one phone calls, make sure that there's no swearing, there's no vulgarity, so the videos get monetized, video record. And Brittany, if you're listening to this or anyone tags her in these videos, this is what you should do, okay? You should record your one-on-one conversations with people that got screwed, okay? Make sure there's no swearing, you understand, both parties understand, so the videos get monetized. Record one conversation at a time, 10, 15 minutes each. Post all those videos, and all the monetization, be transparent with your analytics. All the monetization from those videos are used to pay back people that got screwed. Do that for a couple months, and then boom, it's all taken care of. You'll earn people's respect back. It's an honorable thing to do. You fix the problem. You kind of went through that kind of process of retribution, and then you can move on. And then people at least will respect you for doing and fixing the issue at hand, not just kind of, okay, patching the wall a little bit and moving on. I think that's just the best way to do it, because it's almost like free money. Use Google, manipulate Google a little bit, right? Post it up, and then let that ad spend go to people. Okay, be transparent with your analytics. People can use Social Blade and check that out anyway. And then that money that comes in, you send it out, and you can be transparent with this. That's it. Yeah, so it's just not being handled properly, and that's where I think the main, or like the real frustration comes, and that's why there's the quote unquote hate. It's because of that lack of handling and that lack of empathy. She's just completely into herself and taking care of herself, and she's not interested in doing all her other shit. So I thought it was funny. And for the record, I am not an influencer, and I am not a fucking YouTuber. So don't ever call me that shit. I am not an influencer, and I am not a YouTuber. I have a YouTube channel. Okay, I run a business. So according to her video, I don't need a hobby. My hobby is customer service, making sure that my clients, my customers, my audience is taken care of, that I'm answering questions, answering comments, that I'm doing what I need to do to grow my business successfully. So I don't need an extra hobby. My hands are full handling my fucking shit. So I recommend that for anyone else that actually has a business that they give a fuck about. So I'll leave it at that. Today's episode, 1046, That Diet Though. All right, let's talk about nutrition. Let's change gears, because that's all the attention that deserves for this episode. 1046, That Diet Though. What do you struggle with? What do you struggle with when it comes to your nutrition? I put the word diet on the board behind me, and a lot of people, and I'll reiterate this because we've talked about it before, but of course we've talked about most things before, but most of these things need extra hammering. They need extra coats of paint. We need to talk about diet over and over again. I like the word diet. A lot of people don't like the word diet. I've gone through different phases of my professional career, not liking the word diet, loving the word diet. Now I embrace it because it's a word. I don't like shying away from words in the fitness industry or in life. I don't like censoring myself. I don't like skipping or avoiding the word diet because people are scared of the word diet. I say pull up your fucking panties, pull up your jock strap, whatever you got downstairs, tighten it up, fucking lock everything in place, suck it up, buttercup, and let's get to work. Diet just means way of eating. It doesn't mean good or bad. Oh, the first 3 letters are say the word die. That's stupid. That's stupid. There's nothing death about diet. It's the way you're eating. And the way you're eating should be the way that your body is designed to eat. But how do you figure that out? You've heard me talk about this a lot. And I talk about eating the right foods. Well, Papa Swole, what's the right food? And then I say you should do an elimination. You should do an elimination diet. And you say, well, what the fuck is an elimination diet? What is that? Well, how do I do that? It's very simple. So let's talk about some of these pitfalls. And a lot of people don't know where to start. You have sugar cravings, you have all these other issues. The reason why everything is one big pizza pie, and I'm sorry, but I'm going to use the concept of a pie when we're talking about food, just because you understand when we have a piece of the pie, a piece of the puzzle. Let's use puzzle. Because if we talk about pizza, if I talk about a pizza pie, people they're not going to pay attention. Everyone's going to start getting cravings. But a lot of these issues stem from fundamental approaches with lifestyle habits. You're not drinking enough water, okay? The thirst mechanism, when it's very, very weak and ignored, your body will start triggering the hunger mechanism to get moisture. Your body runs on water more than it does on food. And what I mean by that is not that your body gets calories from water, but for those that don't know, you will die in a couple of days of dehydration, whereas without food, and this is average, I'm not talking about Olympic or Guinness World Record. If you go a few days without water, you will have severe health issues and potentially death within just a few days. Without food, usually it's commonly accepted that you can go for a couple weeks or more, maybe like 2 weeks or more without food. And of course, I'm not saying either one is good and that you should try them. But what I'm making, the point I'm trying to make is that your body is more dependent on survival in the immediate short term on water than it is on food. If you don't have water, you're in some serious fucking trouble. If you just don't have food for a few days, all right, you're fasting, you're hunting, you're looking for food, whatnot, your body can survive, but without water, you're in some serious trouble, okay? And you're mostly made up of water. Your body is, whatever the math is, it's 60%, 70%, 2/3 water. Your body is water. Your moist skin, it's not dry. Your skin's moist right now. It's because there's water there. Your body is saturated with water. That's how your body has can transport blood and blood cells, right? Your blood is liquid. There's a lot of there's water in blood. That's why it looks like water. That's why there's that viscous nature to it. And similarly with food, for example, and you don't realize how much water is in food. For example, if you're consuming whatever food source it is, let's say it's meat, let's say it's bread, not recommending either in this instance, but if you're eating a piece of, let's say a sweet potato and it's completely dried out, it's going to be brittle and crunchy, just like bread. If you toast it and burn it, you're drying out all the water. It's crispy and it's dusty. If you take a piece of meat and you char the fuck out of it, it's going to be brittle, dry, and crunchy, carcinogenic as shit, because you just evaporate all the water. You want things that your body wants fluid. And if you don't drink enough water, your body triggers hunger so it can get moisture from food. You don't consciously think of these things. You don't consciously think about survival. Your body does. Your body thinks about survival, but on a conscious level, it's not in your brain like, okay, I'm going to survive today. I'm going to evolve. I'm going to focus on surviving till tomorrow. You don't think about this as like a top level in your brain. You don't think about this like up here. You think about this inside. It's automatic. Your body is designed and it's just fundamentally designed to look for survival no matter what. And we have this kind of like facade of a society structure where we go to work and we go here and we go to the store. If shit hits the fan with like the government and power goes out or there's like a whole grid meltdown, everyone's going to get very animalistic, killing each other to survive. We are animals. We are creatures that are built to survive, that are built to live, to reproduce, to produce more species and more human beings. And that's really what we're designed to do. So if we think about our bodies as a survival mechanism, as a survival creature, right? Trying to make it to see the next day, survival of the fittest, natural selection. A lot of our impulses naturally are about that. So if we don't get enough water, for example, just looking at hydration, if you're not drinking enough water throughout the day, you're going to start feeling more hungry because your body thinks, oh, well, I'm trying to trigger thirst from this jabroni and I'm not getting water. Let's eat some food instead. Let's get some hydration that way. So if your thirst mechanism goes underattended and you ignore your thirst, you adapt to that lack of water. You just don't feel thirsty. Some people are like, oh, I'm just not thirsty. Yeah, you are. You just have such a weak thirst mechanism. You don't know that you're thirsty. Like you should be drinking before you feel thirsty. When you feel thirsty, that's usually a sign that you're dehydrated because it made it that far to trigger, oh, my mouth is dry. It's because you're already dehydrated. So making sure that you have enough water in your system, that you're properly hydrated, will decrease the likelihood for cravings. And a lot of you probably already are aware that if you drink a big glass of water before a meal, like 10, 15 minutes before a meal, you won't feel quite as hungry. And that's a strategy to make sure that you normalize your hunger mechanism. Maybe you can even squeeze a little bit of lemon because it's very alkalizing. You can squeeze a little bit of lemon in some water and drink a big glass of water about 10 minutes before your meal, and it will normalize your actual hunger. You won't quite feel as hungry because you aren't really as hungry as you thought. You were more thirsty. And once you drink water before a meal, that gets in, absorbs a little bit, kind of goes through the system, and then you kind of feel as hungry as you actually were without the masking of your actual dehydration. So that's a strategy to start eating less in terms of caloric restriction, but not so much measuring macros and measuring your calories, but more from the aspect of, okay, let me get in touch with my actual hunger, my pangs for hunger. Let me get in touch with my hormones because that's what tells you you're hungry. Let me get in touch with my body. Let me understand what my body is actually asking for. Let me normalize and reset how hungry my body actually is. And that's one way to do it. Another thing that can cause a ton of cravings, which I see in the comments a lot of comments about cravings at night, is sleep. When you're sleep deprived, you are going to crave sugar more. And most humans, most Americans especially, the average American is chronically sleep deprived severely. So at night, when your body is exhausted, the sun goes down, your circadian rhythm kicks in and is like, hey, it's time to fucking go to sleep. And you are just chronically sleep deprived. You are going to have those cravings for glucose more and more. And everyone's asking, well, what should I eat at night? You need a snack at night. No, you don't. You need to go to sleep. When the sun goes down, you should be going to sleep. And I'm not saying you should be going to sleep at 7 o'clock. However, if we didn't have electricity, that's what our bodies are designed to do. The advent of electricity in the last couple hundred years has drastically stressed out the human body because we are not evolved to handle artificial light. We're not used to it. We pretend like we are and we use it like it's normal, but it's not normal. There haven't been lights everywhere. It's been like 150 years since, like, when was electricity like really invented? The light bulb. When did Edison do that shit and all that? When was it ubiquitous, right? That was like, okay, he invented it. And then it took a long time for it to be actually everywhere and everyone could have light and electricity. So someone can Google that really quick, but let's say 130 years. 100 years, not a long time, not a long time. So in the last 150 years or so, that's a drop in a lake of water in terms of evolution, in terms of how long it takes for the human body to adapt. So we are stressing our body and cortisol levels, stress hormones are elevated. We have these glucose cravings because we're chronically exhausted. We are not recovering properly. Just our messaging system is off in our body. So it's not always, okay, caloric restriction. It's not always what you're eating. Sometimes you might have all those things laid out. Maybe you did an elimination diet already, but you still have stubborn fat. It takes months and sometimes years to repair hormone damage, if it's even possible. sometimes this damage is over the course of 30 or 40 years. It's not like your body is all of a sudden equipped to go back to the way it should have been 30 or 40 years ago. Sometimes it'll never go back to the way it should be. You can do permanent damage to the point where your body doesn't know normal because it never did. You're eating sugar and garbage since you were 6 years old, and now you're 45 and you want to change your life. Your body has never known anything different. I don't care if it was supposed to be that way or not. Like, it's hard. Sometimes there is damage that can't be undone. And I don't like to say that, but it's a logical approach. Think about it. Sometimes you might not be able to go back to that normal level. You might not be able to get back to where you were from scratch because you were never at scratch except for when you came out of the womb. And depending on how your mother ate when you were, in the womb, and how overweight or not, or whatever they were when your parents conceived you, like, that matters. That matters with epigenetics. That matters with your gene sequencing. Like, that matters. 1879. Okay, so I was pretty close. 140 years? Yeah, 140 years. I was exceptionally close. All right, so I was within 10 years. So 140 years ago. We're a lot older than that. Our evolution is a lot older than that. So bottom line, when we do an elimination, when we talk about all these foods, I think people have a misconception of what macro counting and caloric restriction, like, what it will do for them. It's not magic. It's not all about, first off, it's about what you're eating. And an elimination diet can be many different things. There's different ways to approach it. You need to cut out foods that have common inflammatory properties across the species. It doesn't mean that you're going to have amazing. It doesn't mean you're going to have catastrophic issues. It doesn't mean that because a lot of people have issues with gluten in bread, not only do they have celiacs, but they have gluten sensitivity. Just because a lot of people have that, it doesn't mean that you are going to have crazy migraines, bloating, and shit from bread. It does not mean that. If you don't live in the United States and you're in Europe, you're not going to have the same issues with grains and bread and wheat that we do here because of the wheat germ agglutinin and the different molecules that are in our wheat and in the modifications that we've from agriculture over the course of years and years and years. We have a lot more issues with that here. In the United States and Western society. So just because a lot of people have the issue doesn't mean you will, but you're not going to know unless you actually test it. So what an elimination diet does is it cuts out a lot of these things that you commonly eat. If you don't know what the problem is, what do you do? What do you do? You have to find the fucking problem. It's not, oh, what fat burner should I take? Oh, what protein supplement should I take? And I need to lose weight around my stomach. Do you have an ab exercise that will help my abs pop out? What the fuck does that mean? Your abs pop out? That sounds like a hernia. That sounds like a problem. Your abs don't pop out. You have to get rid of the fat on top of them. Now, how do you get rid of the fat on top of your stomach? And that's fat that your body doesn't want to get rid of. When your body puts on fat, your body wants to. That's what most people don't understand. Your body wants to put on fat. Why do you think it's hard to get rid of fat? Because your body wants to store it. Your body wants extra fat. That's good news. That's money in the bank. If someone gives you $1 million, you're not going to use, I only need $20, but here, I'll just give the other $999,980 away. I don't need that. I think I did that math right. That was pretty impressive and quick. You're not just going to give it away. You're going to put it in the bank. That's what your body does. It puts it in the bank, stores it as fat, holds it for later. And that's a survival thing. It goes back to what we talked about at the beginning. That's a survival mechanism. That's what your body does in order to prepare itself for hard times, for being without food. However, we're never without food. There's a supermarket on every corner. We're never without food. You don't even have to leave your house. You can just do it on your phone and order food and it'll be delivered. So we're never without food. And that's the problem. If you have extra food and you eat it and your body has the opportunity on an evolutionary level to, hey, store a little fat, put a little bit extra for later. Chances are in the wild, 1,000 years ago, you're going to be hunting and you're going to be without food for a day or two or not eating a ton. You're not going to feast all the time and your body's going to use that energy. But people today are sitting down. They're not exercising and using it, period, and just overloading with excess calories all the time. And fake food it's not just a caloric excess. The reason why fake food and processed carbs are so bad, it's because not only are they garbage and cause inflammation and damage the body in addition to them not having nutritional value, but it's also very easy to overeat those types of processed foods because your body doesn't have the speed of communication inside the system, the endocrine system, the hormones. The endocrine system is with the glands inside the body that secretes hormones, which are chemical messengers that get secreted into the blood, that get sent around and circulated in the system and attach like a lock and key mechanism onto different glands and tell the brain, okay, we have enough food. And then the brain will say, okay, I'm not hungry anymore. And then you don't feel hungry. However, this is delayed. It takes about 15, 20 minutes for you to start feeling full. And processed carbohydrates like pizza, like pasta, like candy and soda, you can consume so many calories before that 15, 20 minutes kind of cycles through. That's why sometimes when you stop eating, you feel full. And then 15, 20 minutes later, you feel like you're going to throw up and your stomach is going to explode. That's why you're supposed to stop eating when you're about 75 to 80% full because of that delay. By that time, chances are you're already stuffed. You just don't feel it yet because the messages haven't all sift through. It's kind of like snail mail. It's like actually standard USPS mail. Your body is sending mail messages. It's not a quick response. Hey, I'm full. I'm done. No, your body is getting, that's the message. When you feel full, that's the message your body sent about 10, 15 minutes before. So if you think about that and you want to stop eating so much, that's where you begin. You stop eating when you're still hungry. And here's the thing. You wait 15, 20 minutes. And then if you're still hungry, you could have a little bit more. But at least you're saving yourself. And chances are you're not. If you've ever done that, if you ever waited, how many of you have done that? You wait 15, 20 minutes and then you're like, oh, I'll just wait. And then you're not hungry. And then someone asks you, hey, do you want any more? You're like, nah, I'm good. But in that 15, 20 minutes, most people will order a second slice of pizza, or they'll go back for servings in the buffet and they'll go back for another round of this, or they'll make a little bit more food and eat it. That's plenty of time to order more, to get more, to load up your plate again. And by the time you're done with that, you're just disgustingly overstuffed and you feel gross. Let's take some comments. Does this make sense so far? I'm trying to create a lot of logic, and the reason why I can answer specifics, the reason why I don't always go into specific minute details is because that, I think, is where a lot of trainers, a lot of professionals, a lot of people that talk about nutrition online, that's where they cross the boundaries. That's where they cross the line between what they should be talking about and what they actually know. Because there's a lot of research that has yet to be done about what the best food is, what people should be eating. Should people be eating that? And on each individual food, one might be really good for you, whereas that same one that I might be talking about could be bad for another person because of the inflammatory properties, because of bioindividuality, because of their lifestyle habits, X, Y, and Z there. That's why when you do an elimination diet, you're figuring this out. And that way you can navigate the world a lot better on your own, and you don't need someone holding your hand for diet. That's why in Swolenormous X, for those of you that are members, we do the elimination and we learn on an individual basis what is right for our bodies. And then you can focus on caloric intake. I'm still trying to lose weight. So then you cut down the calories of what you're consuming, but you're not worried as much about inflammation and issues because you've already figured out what your body reacts to. Fitness people should not be talking about specifics with food. Maybe certain food categories, grass-fed beef over processed, grain-fed, farm factory, poisoned, antibiotic-pumped beef. Okay, we should be, talking about staying away from processed sugars and sodas and breads and pastas. You have to test these things. You're not going to know unless you test, and most people just want an answer. What do I eat? What should I do? What's a good meal plan? You're going to have problems. You're going to hit a wall. You're going to have issues somewhere because you're not fundamentally figuring it out. You're not fundamentally going to the source of what is right for your body because you don't have the information. You're not aware that this kind of concept exists, even though it's very fundamental. Two, you're fucking lazy and you don't want to take the time to do it. And you don't have the willpower. Oh, but I can't give up sugar. Then stay addicted to sugar and fucking die of diabetes. What do you want me to say? You have to do something. You have to have that check. You have to check yourself. No one's going to do it. Like, I can't show up. That's in part why I do a daily podcast, because a lot of you don't have support. You don't have support at home. You don't have support from your spouse. You don't have support at work. So I'm here to be a voice that, hey, I'm trying to inspire you to do this on your own. But bottom line, you have to do this on your own. You're going to have to do this on your own. You don't have someone in your corner. I'm in your corner. I just can't be there and walk you through it. I can't be there one-on-one. That's why, for example, those of you that are part of, that are members of Swolenormous X, we have that community. We have that community where we all support each other, and that's important. You need a strong community. Wherever you can find that, you need a strong community. I recommend you join ours. I recommend you join Swolenormous X. Come on in. The water's fine, and people are getting amazing results without micromanaging and counting calories and eating real fucking food. It's not complicated, but you have to do something that keeps you consistent. And following any specific diet plan, anything that someone writes out for you, eat this, half a cup of this, 1 pound of this, half an ounce of this. Anytime you have to like follow something like that, it doesn't give you room. It doesn't give you flexibility. It doesn't give you the tools that you need to make better decisions when you don't have that in front of you, when you travel, when you go to someone's house for dinner. Like, you need to be able to understand your body so you can make the right decisions all the time. Like, if you're in the airport, oh, what should I be eating? I'm hungry. I want to have a little bit of a snack. What should I get? Either don't eat and fast a little bit, which is great for the body, or should I go after this protein bar, which is full of crap, or can I just get a bag of, plain or raw almonds or something like that, which is the better decision? You know for a fact that your body doesn't like almonds. Let's say maybe your body likes walnuts better. So then you go for the bag of walnuts. What if your diet plan said half a bag of almonds and you just went for that? Then you kind of had stomach aches, like, oh, I don't know. It must have been the coffee. It must have been the traveling. You attribute it to something else. Like, you're just following the leader. I want you to learn. I want you to learn how your body works. I want you to be able to have autonomy. I don't want to sit here and fucking baby you. We'll talk about recipes and things that I eat, this and the other, but you need to have autonomy in your life. You need to have control. You need to have control of your life. Does that fucking make sense? And I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why that none of these fucking fitness people and all these other influencers, why they want to give you the tools, because it's not easy to charge someone for the tools. People want the fucking end result. That's why they sell you, oh, this, lose weight fast, take this and lose 20 pounds, and here, do this 6-week challenge and lose all this weight, and here's the results, quick this, fat loss, fast this, fast. That's why they push that. If they give you the tools and they teach you, then maybe you don't need their product. Oh, maybe you don't need their stuff. Look, I'm the first one to say that my programming, yoga classes, everything in Swolenormous X is the fucking bee's knees. It's the shit. I love it and the members love it. But do you need my shit to get in shape? No, of course not. There's a million things out there to do. You can get in shape in a million different ways. I just provide all the tools you need for this method and for this type of approach, but it's very open-ended and very customizable. That's my goal, and ever expanding and ever adding content and training styles and modalities and so forth. It's just, there isn't one, it doesn't have to be one answer. There doesn't have to be. There could be multiple, but you have to be proactive to fucking figure it out and to approach it like that. If you just want someone to fucking spoon feed you, you're going to have a lot of hit and miss. And that's what most people get. They hit the wall. They miss most of the time because they try something that someone else lays out. They can't stick to it. How many of you have done a workout plan or a diet? Now put this in the comments below. How many of you have done a workout plan or a diet that you just couldn't stick to for whatever reason? Maybe like the programming was too many days a week. Maybe the diet was it was too hard to get the meals in, or those foods you didn't like, or whatever it was. How many of you did or have purchased either or both, one or the other, a nutrition plan or a workout program that you couldn't be consistent with, you couldn't keep up with, that you couldn't do? Just looking through some of the comments here too. Every single time. Yep, me. And look, I'm I'm chuckling. I'm not laughing. It's not funny, but I'm just showing that I don't make this up. I just want everyone to understand like, oh, and plus it helps for those of you that are watching live to see other people like, oh, I'm not the only one, because most of you probably have. I tried keto. It made me feel like crap. I did Beachbody and I hated it. Juan, yes. Zombie 3315 on YouTube. Me. JC. Me. Russ. Juliet. Yep. Tara. Raising your hand. Rebecca. I had a trainer basically starve me for weeks. I felt dizzy all the time and was told to just stick with it. Russ Newell. Paleo diet. I can only last 6 to 8 weeks and I'm done. Kelly K. I have. Elizabeth a few times for me. Let's see here on. Let's see here. Yes, a lot of stuff on Instagram. Me, raise his hand. A lot of people raising hands. Guilty as charged. Yeah. So that being said, you get it? That being said, that was a. Some of you might understand that joke. This being the case, when it comes to a structured diet, a structured layout, what good is it? I want you to pay attention to this. If you pay attention to any part of this episode, if you have a structured diet or a structured program and you can't stick to it for whatever reason, it's not working for you, like you can't keep up with it, then how good is that program? How good is that nutrition plan? It doesn't matter if it's the best plan in the fucking world if you can't do it. If you can't do it, it's not the best fucking plan in the world. It's not the best program in the world if you can't do it. And it's very hard to create something that a lot of people can do. And to answer some of the questions in the comments I see go through on underneath the live feed, that's why, and a lot of you are repping Swolenormous X, so thank you people that are doing that. But that's why when I created my programming, nutrition approach, the yoga studio, everything inside Swolenormous X, it was to formulate and to customize to as many people as possible. It is education on how to live your life. It's education on how to approach your fitness in your life. And everyone's going to be a little bit different. And you have to understand that. However, it's very hard to write a program and have that address this. So that's where my stuff separates, and that's where my brand separates from everything else that's out there. That's why when people ask me, oh, your program, I don't have a program. It's more than a program. It's not a program. It's a platform. It's a way of life. It's a way of approaching your health and your fitness from a fundamental standpoint. And if you do that, a lot of the other things that people stress about, you get that domino effect, right? If you hit that first one, you get the first few, it's going to domino a lot of these other ones, like how you look, losing weight, weight loss, cravings. If you do things the right way, it's going to cover all those things. Let's see. I did plant-based for a year and just couldn't continue. Only once 20 years ago. Keto worked for me, but I didn't just fit macros. I ate quality, nutrient-dense food. Good shit. Let's see. The diets I've always tried made me feel like I was starving or tired and just take forever to recover from a workout. Yeah. And any type of programming that doesn't focus on recovery primarily, right? That under recovery, you're going to burn out. You're going to fry yourself in one way or another. Mike, amen. Yours is the only program out there that anybody with any ability can start and be progressively better every day, every week. Most of those programs are for express or people that have been working out forever. You take the time to explain everything and make sure everyone's doing it at their pace and their speed. That's huge. Thank you, Mike. I appreciate it. Russ, like you said a while ago, it starts with mindset. From there, it's all fine tuning. It really is. And if that's one thing that I can have all of you, even if it's your first time to the podcast, if you can take that away, is that there's a fine tuning process throughout your entire life. It's never, okay, I have the answer, I'm good. Because I will tell you, the way I trained for like the first 5-10 years, bulking, lifting, doing all the thing, I cannot do that anymore, psychologically or physically. I need to maintain for longevity. I don't want to get hurt. I don't have the passion. It's like the same passion I talked about in the Ask Papa Swole on YouTube that I posted yesterday. I didn't have the passion for playing baseball anymore. I lost it. I don't think I have the passion for being like as big as a fucking brick shithouse anymore. Like my personal approach is more for mobility, is more for multiple planes of motion, is more dynamic. Yeah, I love to build muscle. I love to train. I love to lift heavy, but in a different concept. It's not about being and holding tons of muscle mass, which I've said many times is not necessarily the healthiest thing. And it's okay. I think that's where there's that divide. It's okay to want what you want. It's all right. It's okay to train the way you want to train. It's okay to have your own journey and your own path. You don't have to look like a Gymshark girl. You don't have to be a pro fucking bodybuilder. You don't have to be on a physique stage. You don't have to have abs. You don't have to have big glutes. You don't have to have big biceps. I'm not saying you don't want that, but that's not the sign that you've succeeded. Because what happens is once you get that, you're not, what's next? That's the problem with some of these goals. It's that what next once you get there? What do you want next? Once you get there, are you going to be satisfied? Is that going to be it? No, you're going to want something else. Well, if you're never satisfied, maybe it's not the right goal. Maybe it's not the right goal. Your goal should be something that you never really obtain. Your goal should be something you never really obtain. You're never really going to get to your goal because your goal is an endless pursuit. It's an endless pursuit. You're always fine-tuning. You're always adjusting. What you're doing today is not going to work for you in 10 or 15 years. What I'm doing today is not something that I did 5 years ago. And what I did 5 years ago wasn't what I was doing 5 years before that. You adjust and you build and you change. And you have to do it with that mindset. Otherwise, you're going to get hurt or you're going to stop seeing progress and you're going to miss out on all these other amazing phases of your life. You could still train hard. You just might have to change the volume. Now, when I go to the gym, I don't do a chest day or like one of those hardcore segmented splits and do stupid amounts of reps and sets for each body part. I don't want to be crippled when I leave the gym. I do more larger splits, chest and back, or upper body, lower body, things of that nature. But I find more consistency with that psychologically and physically. And not, again, I mentioned this the other day, not that I'm old, I'm going to be 36 this year. However, I've also been lifting hard and training and putting my body through a lot for the past 20 years. I've been active my whole life. Like my body has been through a lot. My body has lifted a lot of weight. My body has done a lot of reps. My joints have been under a lot of pressure so that you cannot ignore all that. And the people that ignore it for a long time are the ones that are going to pay for it, unfortunately, on the back end. Like, how do you think your body isn't just like a car? You don't just replace parts. You don't just replace your parts. You don't just replace shit. Things just don't get better. Like you have to actively approach. That's why active recovery and being proactive with your recovery is important. But we'll continue this conversation. Drop any questions you have in the comments below. What I want you to do also, if you follow on YouTube, make sure that you drop your question under the latest episode of Ask Papa Swole if you want to be featured in the next episode on YouTube. So you can check out my YouTube channel at Swolenormous and drop your comment in under that video, under the latest Ask Papa Swole video. You'll see it. So it goes over some of the questions. And this next episode is probably going to be funny because of the latest drama that's going on YouTube. And yeah, I think a lot of people want me to make a response video to you-know-who. I may. I have plenty of ideas. It's going to be very straightforward, but I feel like I almost owe it to everyone because everyone's going to be expecting it now. And all right, it's just too easy. It's too easy. It's not going to be anything. It's not. I've said what I needed to say. I said what I needed to say in the past, but I will definitely address the issue and the reasons that I mentioned earlier in this podcast. Probably be reiterated in said video. So just stay tuned for that. But anyway. I think that's it. That's a good start for a Monday. Anyway, go check out swolenormousx.com for all the details on memberships on the blog and to subscribe to the podcast if you're not yet subscribed to the podcast. And go check out my YouTube channel at Swolenormous and make sure that you plug in. You could ask questions on the latest Ask Papa Swole video, and also stay tuned here for the next post for the next Sunday Funday Q&A coming up next week. Lots of big stuff coming, lots of great videos, and make sure you go check out the latest DWGs on YouTube and all that good stuff. Oh, just a side note, that some of your favorite styles on Swolenormous apparel will be disappearing at the end of this week. I'll give you more details coming up, but all the favorites like Gamebraham Lincoln, Swolcrates, Plank Sinatra, all the off-brand styles that I have will be gone after this week. So if you have not yet checked out Swolenormous apparel for some gear, go check it out, because a lot of the styles are going to be shelved, making way for some new cool fucking releases, which I think you're really gonna like. So check that out, swolenormousapparel.com. And until tomorrow for episode 1047, I will see you. I'll see you on the flip side. Catch you on Instagram stories and everywhere else that I am. So thank you so much for joining me for episode 1046 of the Most Muscular Swolecast, Beercast, Broadcast, Gangcast, Mancast, Pimpcast, Sleazecast, and Slaycast in the realm. Because when I flex, you flex. We all flex our biceps. Peace, McGeese. Deuce, Magoose. Ya boy, Papa Swolio. Out.